up at the end of the night. Before I know I'm falling down, I wanna wake you up at the end of the night.
Signal number 9292 as Spicer on the front. Item
992. Good morning. Why don't you pull up a chair?
Work 4774, 4774. Item 9, work between signal number 121-121 at Snyder South and signal number 9292 at Spicer on Main Track.
Now, I have no idea what was in my mind to be riding a suicide in the cold weather. I was retarded. There's no way to get warm. Pretty much spent 4 hours clinging to life.
That is correct, sir. Over.
Totally sucked balls.
Thanks.
So I won't be doing that again.
Have 549 coming in, R19. You could stand by at the north end, wait for power to cut off, over.
R19, train coming in. Here we go. Remember that.
Yep, that will be approximately 32 cars, guys.
32 cars, guys. Keep your heads up.
Out of 6.9.80908 DC, known by after.
Check it out, kids. Fucking sexy. Now, that looks like a local. Just doing some pickup and drop offs, not a very long train. Whew, getting really chilly out this morning. Of course, I like to pretend that I like the sound of trains when I'm sleeping.
Okay, thanks.
But after a freezing cold ride on one, and all the shit I had to do to get here. Plus there's trucks here, there's planes flying overhead. Wasn't the best sleep. Definitely wasn't relaxing. But you know what is relaxing? Units.
Yeah, okay, I'm just finishing up grabbing some bolts, and I gotta head over and grab gas.
Get your bolts.
Okay, right, thank you.
Now something that's kind of important for all you wee lads starting out train hoppers.
559.
Everyone seems to be obsessed with
Holding for the SVU.
rail atlases and rail maps. But to be honest,
Oh, it's got.
too much down.
Hey guys, it's cheers. I'm not gonna get 549.
To be honest, you know, if you don't know what you're doing and you look at a map, sure there's tracks here and here, but does that tell you where your train's going? Does that tell you where to catch your train? Not quite. So what you want to do is you want to learn how to read times tables, and you want to understand how mileposts and markers work. On the side of the tracks, you're going to have mile postings, and you're also going to have station names. If you see that, you can look it up in your times table and it'll tell you exactly where you are. It can also tell you what kind of things are coming up, which is always good as a train hopper. You need to know what's going on ahead of time to prevent yourself from getting stuck. You got other information like radio frequencies if you get excited by that kind of stuff, and direction, and basically to give you a heads up on a lot of what's going on. So times tables, can't say enough good things about them. Take a break from the whole I need to have a map thing. Sometimes those will get you more trouble than not. And yeah, times tables, man, they will save your ass, and they will actually tell you more about where you are than looking at a map, especially if you've never been there before.
Missed that shot. Alright, time to fuel up. Alright, what are we looking for here? Oh crap, it's expensive. Got some beans. Those. All right, so looks like we found real snow. This is the camp so far. We're sleeping there. Fire's there. Got myself some Johnny Walker and a couple Canadians. Can't go wrong with that. Tracks are just over there. You can barely see them there. There's my tracks coming in. The snow is literally knee deep. So as you can imagine with the state of my boots, my feet are absolutely soaked. So I set up a Lazy Man's fire, which is just about ready to start going there. And then I'll set something up to try and dry my boots and socks. Now last year, I managed to have a bit too much to drink while trying to dry my socks, and I kind of passed out with the socks in the fire, and they kind of burnt to a crisp. So this year we're going to try not to do that. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited. Supper today, got a score on some Chef Boyardee beefaroni. Classic favorite. Take off the label. Sure that's good for the environment. You know, good shit. Again, no dishes. Oh yeah, that's what I want to show you. This little thing is what I have as a can opener. I couldn't even figure out how to use it. Someone I was riding with last winter actually showed me, but it's actually pretty amazing. Super small, super compact, pretty amazing. And then this is just a little light that I have for whatever reason, not too sure, for light. And check it out. Still have my spoon. Yeah. Man, the smoke eyes. That is some good processed shit. All right, winter wonderland at last. It's time to celebrate a little Northern Ontario. Good shit. Cheers. You know, it's a good thing you guys are here, because otherwise I'd be drinking alone and talking to myself. Check it out, the fire burnt right to the ground. Give you an appreciation for how deep the snow is, and just how wet my socks, boots, and up to my knees are. That's my not so organized bushman's fire. She smokes a bit more than I preferred, but I'm happy. Back in about 2003, I was backpacking through Latin America with a buddy at the time, and we've been traveling for about 3 months, you know, and I've been drinking mostly bottled water, so I was getting pretty cocky and thinking I was almost invisible. Anyhow, we're in Honduras, we're downtown Tegucigalpa, which was the capital of Honduras, and we were waiting for a bus one day, and there was this place to eat at the roadside by the bus station. They had $2 chicken with salad and rice. I was like, oh man, it's a great deal. I love eating. So sat down and started eating. Of course, like where we were eating, it was literally next to this tire shop. So picture I'm sitting in this place that's decorated with tarp. There's tires and metal and grease all around me, but whatever. By that point, we were used to it. So I'm eating. And the guy asked me if I'd like a juice. I'm like, fuck yeah, sure. If it's included, why not? And so he proceeds to grab a cup and he dips it into this vat of juice, like one of those metal oil drums full of juice, right? And I'm kind of like, that's kind of iffy. But I'm like, what the fuck? I've been fine so far. Why not? So I proceed to drink it. Anyways, everything's fine for about a day. The next day we had to catch our bus to Nicaragua. And the bus was leaving at about 7 in the morning, and I think both of us were too cheap to spend on a hotel if we were going to have to get up that early. Plus we figured we'd probably end up sleeping in and miss our bus. So we found this park downtown where, right by the bus station where we'd wait, and we just kind of sleep on a bench. Anyways, buddy falls asleep, and I'm starting to get really, really bad cramps. And they're getting worse and worse, and I'm kind of like, fuck, I really need to take a shit. So I'm looking around, trying to figure out where the fuck am I going to take a shit. I'm in a public park. There's absolutely nowhere that's private, even though it's 2 in the morning. I was kind of uncomfortable about just shitting out in some park. So I'm looking around, and there's this river nearby, one of those Central American chocolate-style rivers, you know, stuff you never even touch, let alone drink. So I kind of go over and look at it, but there's some guy sweeping the streets further down, sweeping the streets a little further down, and so I'm like, ah, fuck it, I'll just hold it, because there was really no public washrooms anywhere. So all of a sudden I get this really, really bad pain, and it kind of squirched down. Next thing I know, the pain was so bad I just couldn't hold it in, so I literally just shit my pants right there. And I'm not talking like a solid little bit of shit. I'm talking like a fucking river of liquid shit. Through my underwear, through my pants, into my wallet, all my money, down my leg. It was a total disaster. The whole time, my buddies are passed out on a bench. No idea what's going on. So I kind of panic, like what the fuck am I going to do now? Of course, we're backpacking, so it's not like I have a ton of shit with me. And there's really nowhere I can even go to clean up. All I got in my bag is like a change of clothes, I think a towel that we stole from our hotel the night before, and that's literally it. So I proceed to wake my buddy up, and I'm like, dude, we gotta go, I shit my fucking pants. And he's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, seriously, dude, I shit my fucking pants. And he looks over and sees my pants and it's just a pile of shit, and of course he's obviously disgusted. So next I proceed to strip down naked and use whatever clothes I have in my bag to clean myself off. And by now, the sun's starting to come up and people are starting to go to work. And I'm fucking buck-ass naked, covered in shit, on display for everybody. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been to Latin America, but it's not rare to have a pickup truck drive by with like 10 people hanging off of it.
And that's exactly what happened. People are whistling at me. Here I am, covered in my own shit, you know, whatever. I think after that, there's not much that will embarrass you. And I mean, since then, traveling, I've shit my pants a few other times, which I'm sure people that travel can attest to. So, he finally gets up, and I'm like, dude, we gotta find a hotel, I gotta take a shower, like, you know, this ain't kosher, I can't take a bus like this. And at this point, all I had left that was clean, or semi-clean, was a pair of underwear, a hoodie, and my docs. So here we are running around town in my fucking underwear, asking people for a hotel. My Spanish is horrible, although I did learn a whole bunch of new words on this trip, or this whole experience. Finally find a hotel. I'm like trying to explain to the guy with sign language, like, I need a shower, I shit my pants just for 5 minutes. So the guy gives me a shower, one of the showers, I shower up or whatever. Still only have my underwear and my hoodie. We go downtown, of course, it's too early, there's no place to buy clothes. We go downtown, and there's a Pizza Hut. Like, what the hell is this? Awesome, I'll go in, maybe I can buy like one of the uniforms or something, at least have something to wear. And so I go up to the door, and the manager's there, he's looking at me like whatever. And I'm like, could I buy like a pair of your work pants? And he's like, what for? And I'm like, well, I don't have any pants. And he's like, so? Guy didn't give a shit. He obviously was like, yeah, you fucking gringo, you can hang out in your underwear. So, long story shorter, we end up going to the bus station. I'm in my fucking underwear. Luckily, there was a German couple who was nice enough to lend me a pair of pants until we got to Nicaragua, so I could cross the border in pants, and then once there I could buy my own pair. So big ups to them for having the courage to lend me a pair, because literally for the next 3 weeks, if I even thought about shitting, it came out. I couldn't hold it. And if any of you guys been in hostels, the toilets are pretty intimate, and that made for a pretty awkward situation. So all in all, yeah, that's what traveling's all about. Oh yeah, I forgot to show you one last thing. There's my socks drying, which you can't even see. I could put more wood in the fire and you would, but then my socks would catch on fire. And then I got my boots drying on the side there. And then, god damn eye toke. And I'm bare feet. So hopefully I don't get chased by wolves tonight, or werewolves. Unless of course they're from Twilight or whatever, in which case I'm not too worried. But either way, good night. The bastard had his fucking lights off. What good is that for film? No good.